All right, so number 4. I got interrupted, so I had to cut that video short. Continuing on, number 4 is 8.1a. This is from category 1. A teacher will determine the total number of books to order for a class using the function b of n equals 4n, where n represents the number of students. So this is total books, and n is students. It's asking for the independent quantity. The dependent would be the total books, because as the number of students goes up or down, the total books is going to change. So total books is my dependent. So that means number of students is my independent variable. Come over here, the number of students in the class, that is the very first choice. Total number of books, that's dependent. The number of books each student needs. That's not necessary. We don't need that, so the answer is F. Number 5. Number 5 is 8.10b, category 5. Based on the graph, between which two values of x is a 0. Zeros are the x-intercepts. So I come up here, my x-intercepts are here and here. So it's asking about one of these has to be between two of these numbers. So I'll come over here, -9 and -8. These numbers are not even on the graph. -9 and -8 is way out here, so I know it's not A. 1 and 2, come over here. Between 1 and 2 would be here, and that's not where my x-intercepts are, so I know it's not this one. -7 and -5, once again, not on graph. 4 and 5, here we go. 4, 5, one of those lies in between that, so D is my answer. All right, number 6. This is 8.8a, category 4. Category 4 is linear equations and inequalities. Category 5, I didn't mention earlier, is quadratics and nonlinear functions. Okay, it says a college student needs 11 classes that are worth a total of 40 credits. 11 classes. Here I see this total 40 credits in order to complete her degree. The college offers both 4-credit classes and 3-credit classes. As soon as I see that I have 2 different things that could represent X and Y, I know this is probably a system. Which system, there we go, of equations can be used to determine F? F is the 4-credit class, and H is the 3-credit class. So they want to know which system. I know that one's going to equal to 11, one's going to equal to 40, but now I need to figure out how to put it together. So how many total classes do I have? I have a total of 11 classes. F plus H equals 11 total classes. Then I need another one that's going to represent total credits. This is where I need to attach the 4 and the 3 to the F and H. The 4 goes with the F, so 4F plus 3H, that's going to give me my credits, which is going to equal to 40. Come over here, the 40 is wrong here, that's supposed to equal to 11, so that's why that's not it. F plus H equals 11, that's correct. 4H, they switched them, so that's why that one's not right. This would probably be a distractor. H Here again, we have this 40. That's not right. F plus H is 11. 4F, 3H is 40. This is my answer. So G is your distractor. A person who understands this teak, if they choose G, that means that they weren't paying attention to the letters. All right, number 7. Number 7 is 8.6C, and this is category 3. Category 3 is linear functions. All right, so the graph shows the time it took a worker to package 16 bottles of shampoo, and they stopped. So if you look on here, it took 40 minutes to package 16 bottles. It took 40 minutes. All right. The next day, 2 workers packaged twice the number of bottles of shampoo in the same amount of time. So in 40 minutes, they would have done 16 times 2. So what I need to do is I need to form my new line on this grid. Of course, 0, 0 is going to be the same, but at 5 minutes, here I have 2 bottles packaged. So now I'm going to have 4 bottles packaged. At 10, I have 4. 4 times 2 is 8. At 15, I had 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 20 minutes, I had 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So as I see, this line is steeper. If I kept going, steeper. So it says, which statement is true? The new graph would have a y-intercept at 80. Did my y-intercept change? No, my y-intercept is 0, 0. So this is wrong. The new graph would be steeper than the original. Yes, this is true. The new graph would be less steep. No. Less steep would have been flatter. So this is not true. The new graph would have a y-intercept of 8. Once again, my y-intercept is 0, 0. It goes through the origin at 0. So my answer is B. Number 8. The side lengths of a figure below are given in centimeters. This is 8.4a. And this is category 2. If the perimeter is 78, what is the value of x? So what I have to do is I need to combine all my terms, set it equal to 78, because perimeter means add all sides. All right, so I have 2x minus 3 plus 2x minus 3 plus 12 plus 2x plus x squared. All of that equals to 78. At this point, I'm going to combine like terms. You can either rewrite it where the terms are side by side, or you can use a method that I have where I use circles, squares, and triangles to identify the different terms. If I'm going to write this in the correct format, which is standard form, I need x squared to go first, and I don't have any other x squared, so I'm just going to pull that over here. Write that down first. Then I need my x's to go next, so let's combine my x's. I'm going to use a circle. 2x here, plus 2x, plus another 2x. 2, 4, 6. That is a total of 6 x's. Notice I brought the plus symbol in front of it. Now I'm going to use a square to identify my constants. Negative 3 and negative 3, positive 12. 3 negatives plus 3 more negatives is 9 negatives. 9 negatives and 12 positives is 6. No. Yeah, the answer is 6, but 3 negatives and 3 negatives is 6 negatives. Negative 3 plus negative 3 equals negative 6. Negative 6 plus 12 is positive 6. Positive 6. And set that equal to 78. Now what I need to do here is, once I see that this is a quadratic formula, I know that I'm going to need to have 2 quadratics. At this point, I come over here and look at my answer choices, and I see it's either going to be a 6 or a 12. Because this is perimeter, I ask myself, can I have a negative side length? If I do 2 times negative 12 here, that's going to give me negative 24. So I know that cannot be it. Same thing with the 6. A positive times a negative is going to give me a negative. So I know my answer is either 6 or 12. So at this point, you can either keep going by factoring this, which is going to take much longer, or you can use a smart cut. The smart cut would be to substitute using your answer choices. I'm going to do both, because if this was a fill in the blank or a griddable, you would need to know how to do the whole thing. So I'm going to finish out this method, and then I'm going to show you the smart cut way of figuring out what the answer is. I want to set this whole thing equal to 0 so it can be a trinomial. This 78 needs to be subtracted from the 6. Six minus 78 is negative 72. Now I'm just going to factor it. I can use my factor in sums chart. I want to find factors of negative 72 that add up to 6. I know that 12 times 6 gives me negative 72, and I know because that's negative, one of those has to be negative. Come over here and find the sum of those. Difference, that's going to give me negative 6. Difference, positive 6. So I see that x is minus 12 and plus 12 and minus 6. I got to remember to set that equal to 0. What this does here is it means I can take each one, set it equal to 0 to solve for x. So I'll come over here, x plus 12 equals 0. Subtract 12 from both sides, x equals negative 12. So negative 12 is a solution. However, we've already established that I can't have negative 12. My other one would be x minus 6 equals 0. Add 6 to both sides, x equals positive 6. So my answer is positive 6. If this was not dealing with perimeter, your 2 answers would be 6 and negative 12. Number 9. This is A.1e, category 1. Oh, I forgot to show you the smart cut. The smart cut would be to substitute 6 in for x and see if you get 78. If you do, you know that's your answer. And then substitute 12 in for x and see if you get 78. Number 9. One type of redwood tree has an average height of 65 feet when it's 20 years old. If the tree is more than 20 years old, the average height h can be modeled by this function. Alright, so this is showing that I'm going to take the years, subtract the 20. A is the age of the tree in years. So how old the tree is now, minus the 20 years, because it's more than 20. It has to be more than 20, because if it's less than 20, it's going to be a negative. That's not going to make any sense. A height can't be negative. plus the 65, which is the height of the tree still, which is the feet. So I know once it reaches 20 years old, it's 65 feet tall. So I'm trying to figure out if it's more than 20 years old, what is my height going to be? So I know what these numbers mean. Which statement about this situation is true? Every additional 1.9 feet of length over 20 feet adds 45 years to the age. We're not adding 45, we're adding 65. So this is not it. For this type of redwood tree, the average height increases by 1.9 feet per year throughout its lifetime. It's not increasing, it's increasing by 1.9 feet, but it's not including the 20. So I'm missing the 20 years. It's not including that. This would look like 1.95 just times the years. That's what that looks like without the 20. Each additional year of age over 20 adds 1.9 feet to the average height of this redwood tree. This is the one that's identifying all the parts of my situation. For this type of tree, the average height increases by 65 for every 20 years. This is forgetting the 1.95. So C is my answer. The last one for this video, number 10. The mapping below represents all the points. Mapping is in 8.2b, and this is category 2. What is the domain of F? If you're not sure about domain and range, I always say doctor. It spells doctor. So if I have an XY chart, DR, domain is my X values. In this case, this is my domain. So I'll find the answer choice that's listing all of these numbers in order from least to greatest. -4, -1, 0, 2, 7. F is my answer. This one is listing all of them. This one is my range. This is your range. And 5 is not even in there. There's nothing, positive 5 is not anywhere over here. So the answer is F. Alright, I guess I can do one more with this video since I got cut short. Let's do number 11 since it's on the same page. Number 11 is A.8b, and this is category 4. It says, what is the value of X in this system? I'm going to show you two ways. I'm going to show you using the matrix, which is the calculator, and I'm also going to show you using elimination, because they're both in standard form, so I will use elimination. I'm going to do elimination first. I'm asking for X, so I need to eliminate the Y so I can have my answer and won't have to do another step. I need to eliminate the Y value. It's already a negative and a positive. So what I have to do is I have to figure out the least common multiple of 12 and 9, which is 36. So I need to multiply both of those times a common multiple to get to 36. So I start off with 15x minus 12y equals 13. I gotta multiply this whole thing times something to where this is gonna be 36. 36 divided by 12 is 3. So I gotta multiply all of that by 3. That's gonna give me 45x minus 36y is equal to 39. Now I have to do it for the same thing here. I start off with 30x plus 9y equals 4. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So I got to multiply all of this by 4. 4 times 30 is 120x. 4 times 9 is positive 36y. And 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Make sure they're all lined up, and you're just going to bring them down. 14 plus 120 is 165x. These cancel out. So that's equal to 39 plus 16 is 55. To solve for x, I need to divide both sides by 165. That cancels out. X is equal to, if I need to simplify 55 and 165, I can use my calculator to see if it goes into it, if it goes into it at all. And it does evenly. So if I divide both of those by 55, I'm going to get 3, 1/3. X equals to 1/3. Come over here, that's B. So this is how you do it, elimination. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with the matrix. First you draw your brackets, and then you're going to put all of your coefficients. You're going to come over here with your calculator, and you're going to enter it in here. So matrix is above x to the negative 1, right below the math key. Second matrix. Go over to edit, and you're going to hit enter. This is a 2 by 3. So hit 2, enter, 3, enter. And now you have brackets that look just like these brackets. You're going to enter these numbers and then hit enter after each one. 15, enter. Negative 12, enter. 13, enter. 30, enter. 9, enter. 4, enter. Once you are finished, you got to go back to the home screen. So you have to do second quit. Then go back to matrix and go to math. Scroll down until you see B arrow RR. That's the one you want. Hit enter. Then go back to the matrix and choose the option that you typed it in, which is option 1, and then hit enter. This is saying X .33 repeating, close your brackets, and then this one is saying that Y is 0.6, negative 6 repeating. That's X, this is Y. So 1X is equal to 0.33 repeating, and your Y value is negative 0.66 repeating. At this point, you would just need to know how to change these into fractions. That's 1/3, that's 2/3, negative 2/3. So I know that's my answer because I'm looking for X. But if you weren't paying attention, that's your other value. This is your distractor because that's the other value. That's Y. So that's your distractor. Alright, I'm going to end the video there. For one, this was 4 through 11. Okay, so next I'm going to do 12 through 20.